All right, we are live. Looking good. All the connection is here. Sweet, good stuff. Awesome. Make sure you guys, as you're filtering in, let me know if audio is good. I'm texting out the chat real quick. All right, we got people starting to filter in. That's good stuff. You guys are here. Thank you so much. Let me know you guys are here and can hear me okay. Hello, Ultra Gamer. What is up? If you could, let me know if it is actually audio is coming by. I want to make sure that everything's good so the settings are set. All right, James says I'm good. Awesome. Sounds good. That's awesome. Good stuff. You can hear me. Incredible. Nicely done. Well, while we wait everybody to get here, I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday. This week has been, wow. It has been a wow, I'll tell you that. Whew. Man. Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad that is money in the bank. Been following for a couple of days. I appreciate your time. XO, welcome to the party, man. Or female. We don't discriminate here. What is up, guys? 5x5. Awesome. Yeah, this week, man, this week was, insane. One of the most insane weeks that I've seen in a long time. Kentucky. Awesome. You guys are doing this stuff. I love you guys too. That's awesome. All right, so let's do what we normally do. What's up, everybody? Make sure you put in the chat where you are from, so at least the state, so you guys know you are not alone out there while we do this fight for our rights, because, woo, it is a lot right now. California, man. Got some Florida, got some California, New Jersey, Iowa, nice. Pennsylvania, you guys got some big stuff coming up. Michigan, Georgia, Texas, Kentucky. Heck yeah. Massachusetts. Whoa, do they know? Do they know you're watching this? I'm not sure you're allowed to. Oh man, look at all that thread. I can't even read all that. That's incredible. You guys are awesome. California, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, Missouri. Missouri, you guys made some moves today in the light of the SCOTUS adjustment. We'll talk about that. North Carolina, Utah, New York, Texas. Man, this is awesome. This is one of my favorite things about the live streams that we do is you guys show where you're from and it really brings us all together and shows like we're in this together. Like we are nationwide. It's really cool. Oregon, Washington State, man, Carolinas, baby. Love that. Indiana. Oh, we're going to talk about John Cornyn tonight. I'm going to keep my professionalism. New Mexico. Okay. Sweet. Minnesota. Sorry, I had to do that. Arizona. Mars. Okay. We'll talk about that later. Jason, thank you so much. Massachusetts. No, hey, thank you, man. Thank you. We could not do this without all of us working together. And also, thank you for letting me know that the super chats are working, because sometimes it's always nice to know it is. All right. London, Kentucky. That sounds kind of cool. Awesome. Virginia. All right. We are at 500 people in the stream. That's awesome. So guys, please make sure that you like this stream, you send this live stream out, because we're going to talk about all the things that went down this week, because it was off the charts crazy. And then I've got my notes over here. We'll do a weekly wrap up, and this is all leading into our 9 o'clock show tonight. Our 9 o'clock show is going as normal, so I'm doing a live stream at 8, then I'm doing a regular video schedule. I've got it as a premiere for 9, and you guys do not want to miss that 9 p.m. segment. That one, basically, it's who's responsible for the gun bill that we just saw, and it goes back a long time, and there's a lot of stuff. It's a video you need to see and send out. That's a big one. Muscle Puerto Rican, I love that name. Thank you for what you've been doing for us. Come together. Yeah, we do need to come together, and we are. So, hey, thank you for helping out, because we could not do this by ourselves. Maryland, don't hold it against me. Hey, Maryland, you guys have got your world turned upside down yesterday. It was insane watching all that happen. That was insane. I mean, it was crazy good, but it was just like, it's one of those things, like, it's just almost surreal that you're just like, wow, I'm actually seeing this happen. It's amazing. ATL, James, another Georgia boy. All right. And Florida. Sweet. Bill says, I've never been so satisfied with a SCOTUS decision as in the last few days. Okay. That's good. I like that. They did come through pretty strong, and at least one that has to do with this channel, and then the other one, it's not in my lane, but it is definitely something. Alex, is that Carney? McCamey. Would love to see a video about what's going to take for us staters to carry in non-reciprocal states. Would love to see California forced to honor out-of-state permits. Now that one is an interesting one. I can definitely look into that, Alex. When you've got reciprocity like that, you have to deal with a bunch of different nuance because there's no federal standard. So you kind of get into the bad versus the good. Do you want federal or do you want state level? And when you're talking about going from, say, Alabama or Georgia into California, they have to honor your reciprocity. And a lot of the times, California requires you to have like certain testing and certain background and certain checks that Georgia or South Carolina or Alabama would not have, so they won't honor it. I believe, just as a little fun fact, the most universally accepted reciprocity concealed carry is, I want to say, Utah. I think that's the most forgiving. RNS Solutions, New Jersey is fighting it, guys. Okay, so that's one of the things that I was alluding to in my video, and I'm going to get through these points here in a second. But they're all going to fight it. This is their standard. They have built their entire platform on these columns, these bases, and if they get eroded, they're not going to just go, oh, we were wrong. They're going to double down, and that's when they're going to run into serious issues. So you're going to see a lot of things. That's why when I said in my videos, like, this is just the beginning of something, yeah, we're going down that road, and it's going to end okay. I know it's going to end good, but it's going to be crazy before we get there. So that's just my thought. Oh, man. All right, so we have got plenty of people here, about 732. So thank you guys for liking the stream and spreading it out so we can get more people in here. But now let's get into this weekly wrap up. And then at the very end, I'm going to leave it open for a bunch of things like open question, open Q&A, stuff of that nature. I got a super chat from I Just Can't Anymore. What about requirement of license to own in New York? It's far worse violation than carry permits, in my opinion. So here's the thing that they always do on the left. They will push and push and push until the Supreme Court like basically jerks them right back into control, right? That's what we just saw with the Supreme Court case around the permitting systems. The further that they go in their quest to prove that they're right, the further they're going to get rebuked by the Supreme Court. Licenses or licensure to own a firearm is blatantly unconstitutional. Very similar to red flag laws, blatantly unconstitutional. We're going to talk about that in a second. But that's my own personal opinion. They're going to keep on doing that until they keep on hitting their head on the wall, basically. Thank you so much, Razor, for that super chat. All right. We are fighting the good fight. The Constitution, in this case, is what matters. Let's get it. All right. So, if you guys are new, once again, the 9 p.m. show is still going on. It's a premiere. Make sure you don't miss it when we wrap this up. Oh, another super chat. Hold on one second. Freedom's March. We need to organize a march for our rights. We need to have our tools and call for the arrest of treasonous senators and congressmen who basically violated their oath of office. I will absolutely go with the March for Your Rights part, but the enforcement of the laws and the enforcement of those oaths, that's something that's a little outside of our realm individually, but that is marching for our rights and organizing and making sure we're working together and showing together is something that I would be absolutely down for. All right, let's get this going. So, it seems like forever ago, but it was about 5 days ago. This week, 5 days ago, that much has happened. So I'm going to cover the big high points. You guys remember that the beginning of this week, it legitimately started with Clinton saying we should just talk to gun owners, don't talk down to them, don't be arrogant, don't be condescending. And now we're here. If you guys remember that video, that's how many videos, that's how much has transpired since that video. So I just can't anymore. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks, Brayden. You rock, brother. No, man, you rock. I appreciate you guys. I couldn't do it without you. And then, so quickly, what we went from Clinton saying, make sure you talk to every single person, right? Make sure you reach out to conservatives or gun owners because they're a valuable person. They'll still vote for you, even if they don't trust you with their vote, whatever it would be. The big thing about that, thank you, Freedom's March. The big thing about this is Cornyn quickly went over, Gregory, thank you very much, guys. You guys are being generous, and I appreciate that deeply. This whole Senate bill, right? So Cornyn went through, and he was one of the main negotiators, right? And so when Cornyn goes through and says, we're going to negotiate something, and he meets with Murphy, who is the Democrat who wants gun control over all else, right there with Blumenthal. And they go into negotiations, and they're there for about 3 to 4 weeks. And they had us thinking the entire time that it was negotiations, it was good faith, we're going to have a conversation, we're going to meet in the middle. Do not miss my 9 p.m. video, which is already scheduled tonight after this live stream. It's going to walk you through that entire thing in 5 minutes. It's incredible. But Cornyn goes through and announces this whole big thing about this not infringing upon the Second Amendment rights, but we're still going to save lives and all of these different things, and then comes out and flat out doesn't do what he said at all. He gets booed from his own people in Texas. When he comes back to Washington, he says, I don't give in to the mob. He said that about his own constituents. Like, the level of insanity that Cornyn showed in this was blatant, which is really a shame. Thank you so much, Freedom Frog Gear. They will get nothing in the end, bunch of clowns. I think that is correct in the long run. And Jaquila Church, love from Georgia. Thank you so much. I'm also from Georgia. So thank you guys both, those super chats. That's incredibly gracious of you. So the thing that we've got to talk about with this Senate deal, and this is what really just irked me so bad, to kind of recap it from a top level, they went through all of that with Cornyn going here, he went home, he got booed out, and they got nervous. And so when they got nervous, they didn't release the bill out in the open to start talking to everybody. They didn't do any of these things. What they did was they went ahead and they rushed it through. They put the bill that was almost non-existent on Sunday night. Senator Mike Lee from Utah came out across all the talk shows and said, we don't have anything, there's nothing here. By Tuesday afternoon, they had a bill they told nobody. Tuesday evening, they put the bill in the minute before the register closed. They passed it through a filibuster vote later on that night around 6:30, I believe, 7 o'clock. And then a day and a half later, it's out of the Senate because they stripped out another bill, put the gun control into it, passed it under that name, and then they could get it back to the House with lesser votes to get it back to the president. The whole thing was so gross, and it's just so incredibly gross. Mark Keller, thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate that. A big thank you for keeping us up to speed on everything that's going on. Maybe the left will learn shall not be infringed actually means kick out the rhinos. We do need to kick out the rhinos, and thank you again. But the big thing about this was if they had gone about this in a way that was, in my opinion, honorable, and you guys can leave it in the chat if it was honorable or not. If you go about this in an honorable conversation, it gets you a lot further, even if you disagree, rather than rushing something through and sneaking something through because you don't want to get more heat. And my own personal belief is, if you think that your package truly doesn't infringe on the Second Amendment, and it's truly something that gun owners would be down with, and it's truly something that would save lives, why would you hide it? Why would you rush it? And that's what really gets me the most. Yes, the principle of infringement, that is absolutely a thing. But the sneaky delivery option and vehicle they chose to do, that has always gotten my goat. All right, so we are at 1,100 concurrent view. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for jumping in here. It's awesome. Make sure you like the stream and you share it out because we got some stuff to talk about. All right, so from a standpoint of where that bill actually stands, I got to tell you guys, it passed the House already. Okay, so it went through the Senate. They stripped out a House bill. They put it in that bill. They passed the Senate. It goes to the House. When it gets to the House, it's already passed the House. It is heading to Biden's desk. The man's going to sign it because they're going to tell him to sign it. So he's going to sign it. He's probably also going to, never mind. But he's going to sign it. It's going to become law. We're going to take an L on that one. And for me, the big thing here is, of course, the infringement, but it's also the delivery, the way they did it, which was just kind of gross. Especially when we go into something else that we talked about, the Oakland Ceasefire. And let me know if you guys saw that video that I did earlier in the week it was about the Oakland Ceasefire and how they could reduce. Alex McCamey, that is a very gracious super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you for all the great content day after day. Hey, it's my pleasure, man. Or ma'am. Dudette, male, female, whatever. We don't discriminate, but I appreciate Alex. We're in this together, so that really helps it out. I appreciate that. But yeah, it was dirty politics, Faye. That's 100% what it was. And Mr. Grebler, give it the thumbs up. I love that too. So where we're at with this is this thing is going to go to the Supreme Court. Mike Stewart, thank you so much. This thing's going to go to the Supreme Court after it becomes law. Now, I'm going to do some videos in this weekend, going into the next week, about where this is going to go, where it's most likely to run into problems, where it's most likely not going to run into problems. Because they wrote a lot of parts of this to specifically avoid scrutiny from the Supreme Court. So they tried their best to avoid getting in trouble. I don't think they did it perfectly, but we're going to cover that in depth. So super chat from Mike Stewart. My CCW is with MSP as we speak here in the communist state of Maryland. Now that SCOTUS made the decision, do you think the process will be any different? I do think that the process will be different. Now, what it ends up looking like, I don't know, because as some people have mentioned in some of my comments and a lot of the perspective around this SCOTUS decision, all that happened on a very small level was people basically said, or the SCOTUS said, you cannot make people prove they need it. You have to give them the permit. Now, it also said you can still enforce standards. So now if that means mental health checks, if that means extended training, if that means extended equipment or safes or whatever that they come up with, that's where it's going to go from that point. So it's not from not a standpoint of, are you going to get that permit? Yes, it's, are you going to complete all the check boxes? And now they did say in the decision that it can't be egregious. It can't be like $1,000 fine or anything of that nature, but that's what we have to see. And that's one of the things that we'll be covering on this channel so tightly, because they're going to have to rewrite all of these laws. Everything's going to have to be rewritten in all the gun control states. That's just on the carry permits. That's before you get into the AR bans, the mag bans, any other kind of bans, because this is a can of worms and it's not going to work out well for them. All right, I got some super chats to catch up on. Texas Corleone. All Texans Pro 2A need to press the Speaker of the House of Texas, Dan Fleen, and open an inquiry about John Cornyn's voting record. That's something you could absolutely do. If you guys, hey, that's something that I would do a video on. Brett Dearman, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Just missed one. Hold on, I got one. A calf. Yeah, let's go with that. What do you think of the idea of being told we have a right to carry in public? Do you think that will lead to a baseline constitutional carry? That is an excellent question. So I think it has the potential to absolutely do that. I don't know when that will happen. Now, so the thing about this is the Supreme Court says everyone has a right to carry in public. Again, that doesn't mean that the standards across the states are all consistent and across the board identical. So if you had a federal Congress that said, here's the standards, here's where it's going to be, this is a national reciprocity, this is the concealed carry standards, then you've got something of a baseline for constitutional carry. But again, it has to be the right Congress because they have to do that on a federal level. That would be reinforced by the SCOTUS decision, but it wouldn't. The SCOTUS decision by itself would not make that law. That's what the left is experiencing right now with the Dobbs case around the abortion, because basically what happened was the Supreme Court made that law out of nowhere. And then the Supreme Court today said, yeah, no, you can't do that, and they sent it back to the states. So it would be kind of the same thing. I hope that answers that question. Oh, man. This is great. You guys are lively. I love this. Love your show. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Alabama, love it. Yeah, and red flag laws, that's a very good point, English Bob. Red flag laws have already been proven unconstitutional, and that's one of the things that is so beautiful about our system of government. And I'm sure you guys are aware, our system of government is completely based on checks and balances. So if the legislature is out of whack, if the executive order is out of whack, they can always check each other, and that's what we're seeing in spades right now from the SCOTUS. But anyway, that's something that is incredibly important. All right, let's keep going here. I'm going to jump over here to the Oakland Ceasefire. The Oakland Ceasefire is something that this blows my mind. This is something that you guys all need to know about. Everyone needs to know about this. The Oakland Ceasefire is a study and a program that was put together by Giffords.org in Oakland, California. This went from 2012 to 2018 before it got dismantled. This reduced gun violence or gun murders, or however you want to call it, by around 50% quickly. And it maintained that all the way through 2018. They duplicated it in 10 other cities. Out of those 10 cities, the reduction standard was about 30 to 60% reduction. Not one issue of gun control was brought up. It was all about community, focusing on the actual troublemakers, and going about this from a holistic approach where actually you deal with the underlying issues. You don't deal with focusing on something stupid like a tool. And that's incredibly important. If you guys ever have a chance to look it up, it's on Giffords.org, Oakland Ceasefire. It is a PDF. It's free. Download it. Google it. It's an incredibly important tool to talk about, because when you tell anybody about that, their minds get blown and they ask you that most important question: why? Why would they be going after gun control if they already have the proven concept right there? Exactly. Charles West, thank you so much for that super chat. You guys are being really generous with the super chats. I appreciate that. That's incredible. I appreciate that. Langley Outdoors. Any news on pistol braces? I have not heard of any. Um, what's up? The newly free state of New Jersey. I love that. All right, so let's get over here real quick too. One other thing that I did not particularly love about the Supreme Court deal, the entire thing was done behind closed doors, and that's a thing I don't like. James Hart, thank you so much for that super chat. Seriously, you guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Um, that's one thing that I did not like about this. Again, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but if you're going to do something that is that important and that crucial with dealing with a fundamental right, you need to have everyone involved in it, not just 10 senators who are talking with 4 negotiators alone. And then they bum rushed it right at the back door, and that was just crap. Exactly, no transparency. And that alone is not the way the system is supposed to work. It's not supposed to be a rush to get something through simply because you wanted it. Now, no, bro, US NBC, don't worry about that. It's not about that. This is about our rights and driving forward. I appreciate it, though. Ice cold. I have no idea why the IRS needs $700,000 of 9mm ammo. There's a lot of lungs. Oh, man. But oh, wait, hold on. I'm confused. Oh, Charles West. Wow. Thank you so much for that super chat, Charles. Thanks you for all you do for our right, South Carolina. Guys, seriously, you guys are incredible. Like we're doing this together, and it would not be possible without you guys. I'm a dude making videos on the internet, and you guys are the force, and it's incredible. So I appreciate that. I appreciate your words and the donation. That was awesome. Thank you for the super chat. Scott on the boat. More babies, more gun owners. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. Oh, one other thing that I thought was kind of funny about the entire thing. So the way that they released this, I thought this was really funny. So they came through on Thursday and they said, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and drop the Bruin decision. Everyone make sure you have your Second Amendment rights. Everyone can carry. Everyone's safe. Everyone's good because tomorrow we're doing the Dobbs." I was like, "Wow, guys, that seemed a little planned. A little planned. Okay, you guys are out of town? Yeah, shocking. Oh man, I got a kick out of that. All right, so let's talk about this because this is something we should talk about. Of the 2 SCOTUS bombshells that they dropped in the last 2 days, which of the 2 do you guys think are the most important? I'm really curious the feedback here of what you guys think is the most important piece because Clarence Thomas was dropping like he came out of the closet like that guy with a lampshade on his head at the party. He's like, "Where's everybody?" Like the left is like incensed at Thomas right now. Joan Pina, thank you so much for the super chat. That's incredible. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Okay, we got some both. I love this. Okay, Connor, about the abortion stuff. Got both. Not murder babies. Awesome. 2A, all of it. 2A. Bruin, 2A. Like it. Cade, thank you so much just for all you guys do. You guys are incredible. I appreciate that, Cade. 2A followed by Roe. Okay. Bruin definitely more important. So that's it. It's interesting to get this feedback from you guys because obviously they're definitely linked, right? They're very similar from a perspective of importance. Obviously, because some of you are 100% one way, some of you are the other way. But what's so fascinating about this is, and this is the thing that I love more than anything about what's happening right now, we've got a system of government where the judges are actually correcting the legislature and the executive branch, which is stepping out of line. The system is working the way that it's supposed to, and it does not always happen quickly, but it is happening, and that's important. That's incredibly important. And that's one of the things that a lot of times earlier on when Biden first got inaugurated, people were very concerned that I was over optimistic. And I'll be honest with you, while we still face challenges every single day, and that's why we fight every single day, 2 videos a day, that's why we are doing that all the time. It's because we can track these people and we can see where they're going. We spread the information and we put pressure where we need to put it. And it's really, really important to understand that that's what we're doing and we really are making a difference, which is like, it's incredible to see. Hondo 2042, very good. Stephen N, thank you man for all the updates. I appreciate that super chat, Stephen. You guys are incredible. I appreciate it. I saw one question I wanted to hit on that was about Feinstein. I got to go back to. Okay, I can't actually see it, but I'll just remember it. Basically, it was what happened with the Feinstein Amendment I don't know if you guys know this. This is actually very, very fascinating. Feinstein put an amendment into the bipartisan gun bill at the Senate on, I believe it was Thursday night. So when she put in that amendment, she didn't just put in an amendment. She put in her entire gun control bill as the amendment. So basically, AR bans, licensing, mag bans, all of it. She put the amendment into the bill and then tried to basically make her bill that bill, right? There were 24, I believe 24 before it was all said and done, amendments that were added to that bill. They all got shut off. But what's really important about that is, like, I saw one from one of the senators from, I believe it was North Dakota, that made a national reciprocity amendment, which I thought was genius. None of them actually got there, but that's what Feinstein tried to do. But it did not work. It got removed. They call it tabling. But that's kind of where we were at on that one. And honestly, that kind of surprised me, because that had a chance to sink the bill, but I don't think that it actually did. I mean, I know it didn't. It went to the House. We the people. That's right, Gregory. That's absolutely right. All right, guys. So we are at 1,400 viewers. That is incredible. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much for liking and sharing the stream. We're talking about some great stuff from a standpoint of the weekly wrap up, what we covered this week. Gun rights, Senate stuff, SCOTUS stuff. We are touching it all. And make sure that you guys are online for the 9 p.m. premiere for the video tonight. It goes all the way through who is responsible for what we're talking about here in the Senate bill that just passed. This is an important video, so you guys are aware what they did and who they did it. Thomas Gathman, super chat. Thanks for all you do for everyone. Hey, I appreciate it, Thomas. I appreciate that. You guys are so generous with your super chats. It's incredible. It's nuts. It's awesome. I appreciate it. But that's one of the things that we're going to focus on really heavily, is because I'm going to give you a little teaser. Everything that just passed in this Senate bill tonight, passed the House tonight, everything that's going to become law was not new, and it was all Republican ideas of gun control, and it was all back from 2019 forward. None of this was an original idea. This is something you guys need to watch. This is a big one. I agree, Shu. The more people that are here, the more people that we can actually get in this to a fight. Absolutely. What's going to be happening after the bill? Now, that's a very good question as well. We're talking about the Senate bill. So, in my personal opinion, what's going to happen is the Senate bill is going to go into effect, and very little is going to change in the short term. You're going to have more money go to the NICS background check system from the FBI. I believe it was $100 million. And they're going to expand it into 18 to 21-year-olds, a little bit deeper of a dive. And that's the big piece, right? So when you're looking at the background checks for the 18 to 21-year-olds, that's the money into NICS. That's the FBI. They're doing that. That's going to pretty much start, I believe the number was 7 days. But then you have all the money from the red flag laws. Now, the important thing about the red flag laws, and I want to make sure everyone is full on with this, the thing with the red flag laws is they have to have funding in place, and then states have to actually do everything that's in this federal bill. So they have to go through and have penalties if you abuse the system. You have to have the right to notify, and you have to have the ability to defend yourself, see your evidence, see your accuser, all of those things. Inadmissible evidence, you can't have hearsay, you can't have non-affirmed, I can't remember all of it. But it's basically like you can't just say something and it work. It has to be credible and affirmed. And then the other piece is, in order to get all the money, they have to do that. Now, the interesting part about that is, at the state level, there are 19 states plus the DC that have red flag laws. They're not going to be able to access the money with the existing red flag laws that they have, because they don't have enough due process to qualify for it. So, and you guys can tell me in chat right now, they're either going to have to lessen their red flag laws and give more due process, which means more ability for people to keep their rights, or not take the money. Which one of those do you guys think they're going to do? They're not going to take the money because they don't want to lessen the red flag laws, right? Now you've got the conservative states. The conservative states have the ability to take the money and apply it elsewhere for mental funding, for school funding and stuff like that, because they don't have red flag laws. And every state has an equal share. So you guys can tell me what you guys think. I don't think they're ever going to take the money, because they're not going to do that. There's no reason for them to do that. It doesn't make sense from their perspective, which they've got bigger fish to fry right now anyway, because they're trying to make all of these sensitive area laws that aren't going to work. Now, Marine Gunny just said something very interesting. The bill is a paper tiger. I'm going to be honest with you, Bill. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it is a paper tiger. I'm going to say it was an extremely political move with the possibility of abuse. That's what I will say to that. Because they set this up in a way where they punted it and they said, hey, it wasn't me. I didn't do red flag laws, but I did put $100 million available for them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when they're campaigning, they can go, no, I would never vote for red flag laws. I would just vote for the funding for red flag laws, but that's a state decision. It's politics, and it's dirty, and it's crap, and it's gross. But I agree, Rick Joy. I think the SCOTUS will turn that L into a W, because at a certain point, they're going to run out of things to keep infringing until they can't infringe anymore, and then an entire gun control industry is going to go bye-bye, and Davy Hogg doesn't have a future, which would make me so sad. Because, oh boy, that one. That's a good question, American Viking. You guys are really asking some good questions. In the gun control bill, what is going on with the verbiage about selling a gun for profit? So that's also something that we hit in the video at 9 p.m. tonight that is premiered. Basically, there's a certain number of guns, and it's a subjective opinion. It's a subjective fact that if you sell X amount of guns, make X amount of profit, then you're not an FFL dealer. Like if you were a collector and you sold 10 guns in a year or 5 guns in a year, that's what they changed up. So basically they said if you sell more than this profit or this amount of guns, then you're now considered an FFL and you're required to get an FFL license. They basically clamped down on the amount of guns a private individual can sell versus a business. Deplorable Patriot. Man, love it. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate that. Like I said, like you guys we are on this together. Davy Hogg would totally run for governor in Florida. Please no. Man, that individual. By the way, on these live, like on my other videos, I can kind of mess up and like say something where I can edit it out. On lives, I have to kind of really cut it down a little bit. I really like that ice cold. I appreciate that. Oh man. No, that's very true. Live free or die. How can they prove what you made for money? That's true. It's kind of like selling a bunch of cars. How can they actually prove it, right? That's a question for some DA somewhere. So Dust 3, they actually did not raise the age limit for buying any firearms at all. There was nothing that did anything like that. Sharif, now that's a good question. What about the boyfriend loophole? Now, the thing about the boyfriend loophole, you guys are asking some great questions. The thing about the Beto and Hogg 2024 knife, you're killing me. That actually threw me off. That was a good one. The boyfriend loophole is just an extension of an existing law that already existed. The boyfriend loophole was marketed and termed by the gun controllers to have something to fundraise off of and have something to, a target to shoot for. They literally did nothing from a perspective of changing any existing law. They merely broadened the definition of who can fall into it. So, for example, previous law was husbands, people you had a child with, women or wives, whatever, they could be convicted of domestic violence and lose their gun rights. Well, if you were a boyfriend and you weren't actually married, or a girlfriend and weren't married, then you would be in the case of you don't have to lose your guns because you aren't married. You are not a joint union in the eyes of the state. So essentially they called that a boyfriend loophole, which wasn't a boyfriend loophole, but anyway, all they did was they said if you're guilty of domestic violence, whether you're married or not married, you're now falling under the same penalties. That's all that they did there. So nothing new created about that. That was just a marketing term. So now, Matt Rahali, super chat. How much does YouTube get for all the super chats? Speaking of taking the money, I have no idea because it doesn't actually break that down for me. I would honestly tell you, but I don't know. They don't tell me that. All right, got the next super chat. Thank you guys so much again. Have dog will travel. With the Supreme Court ruling, who is going to enforce and make the states change their policy? Their pocketbooks are. Because that's a very good question, Francis. People come on the chat sometimes and they'll leave comments, say, well, they're just going to ignore it. They're not going to enforce it, which is going to my next point of the sensitive places thing. When they go in and they say, hey, here's the Supreme Court ruling, and the states go, I'm just not doing it. Very similar to Maxine Waters said tonight, we're just ignoring it on the abortion thing, on the Dobbs decision. All they're doing is setting themselves up for infringement of rights that's already been written by the Supreme Court and ruled on by the Supreme Court, and they're going to get paid. They're going to get sued and sued and sued and sued until they have no money left and they have to amend their behavior. That's what will happen. It's not going to be you're violating the law, you're going to jail. I mean, it's possible, but it's much more likely they're going to get taken to civil court and they're going to lose money out every orifice because they refuse and their pride won't let them accept that they were wrong. That's what will happen. Now, in an extreme case, if you've got something like a I can't remember it, violation of court, contempt of court charge, that would be something, but I don't know. JG 199 for the super chat. I appreciate that. You guys are being seriously like off the charts generous. I like, it's incredible how awesome you guys are. All right, so we are 1,600 viewers. This is awesome, guys. Keep the questions rolling in. These are really great questions. It's a really good thing. I'm going to go on to the next one if you guys pause on those. And so what I'm really diving into now is make sure you like the stream. You send this out because this is good information. New Jersey governor is doing the same thing. Yeah, they're all going to do the same thing because they're painted into a corner. They can't come out and say, you know what, guys, constituents far left in a blue state, they were right. We got to amend our behavior. No, they're going to say double down, triple down, quadruple down until they make it into a victim case where they say like, oh, we're being sued out of our minds. We can't afford to do this. We're going to raise your taxes or we're going to amend to the actual ruling, which is what will happen. So just throwing that out there. Keith Tate, I'm going to say it just because I don't like Beto. Francis doesn't have a chance. That's right, he doesn't have a chance. Woo, preach. Michael Barrett, thank you for your videos. I mainly watch you to be informed on gun news. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. One of the big things that I think is so crucially important is writing all the sources out, linking all the sources, but also driving forward with a momentum and an energy and a force. And I think that's what we do a lot together, and I love it. So that is super, super cool. If you guys are new in the chat, because we are going up in our viewers right now, make sure you guys see the 9 p.m. video, 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's already premiered. You can get in there and wait for it to go live. You need to see who is responsible for this bill, and I'll give you a hint. It was not negotiated. It was not brand new. It was all there. And they just basically brought it up from 2019 because they had the energy, the emotion, and momentum, which is so gross. Oh, we got a super chat from Jason. Braden, say hello to my wife, Melanie. We are listening together. Well, hello, Melanie. Hello. Thank you, Jason, for the super chat. I hope that worked out well. Good luck to you, brother. All right. So let's go into something else I really wanted to talk about the Supreme Court decision. But first, I must refresh my vocal cords. I'm getting rid of the old situation. All right, thank you so much, Nevada Smith. That is a really cool name, by the way. So one of the things that a lot of people got really concerned about with the existing SCOTUS decision when it came down was they came down and said, well, it doesn't really matter, Braden, because, and they literally said this, it doesn't matter, Braden, because they're just going to make everywhere a sensitive place and make it illegal to carry it away, restrict everywhere it goes, so it doesn't matter. Well, that's not actually true because in that actual decision, Thomas, and this is why he is like the OG for life for me, he saw what they were going to do ahead of time. He got in front of it and said, you can't make somewhere a sensitive place that was not already previously a sensitive place. That's incredibly important, so it's got to be written on or based on text and history. That's incredibly crucial because if they are doing something that, and say like movie theaters, for example, I want movie theaters to be safer and protected forever in sensitive places. Well, you can't because they haven't been before. And that's incredibly important. So that actually got in front of them. They can't do that. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. All right, let's keep it up. Pawpaw, I did, and I kicked it to the curb, and it has no place here. Get behind me, Satan. Oh, man. Let's get it. Thanks for hosting this. No problem. I'm enjoying this. I love this. This is an amazing lead up into our 9 p.m. video. All right, JG, a super chat. What do you think New York City will do in regards to this? Now, excellent question. New York City knows only one way to deal with anything that they see as guns and guns problem. Infringe, and then infringe some more. So what they'll do is you already saw some parts of this. They started banning body armor. They started banning ARs. They raised the age limit. They did everything that they possibly could, and they took full advantage of an emotional situation like they always do. Now, where they're going to go from here is they're going to try to make everything as restricted as possible, but still curtailing to the existing laws. So what they're going to do now in the short term is they're going to reassure their public that guns have no place in the city of New York because guns are evil and it's clearly the problem, even though it's the dumbest possible way to look at something. But what they're going to do is they're going to say, we're going to be fine. I'm going to summon up a special session of the legislature. They're going to sit down with their constitutional lawyers. They're going to sit down with their counsels on the mayor's team and the governor's team. And then they're going to go to all the big cities, and they're all going to brainstorm about how to do this. I'm sure they've already had the Zoom meetings. I'm sure it's already happened. And from there, they're going to come up with the best scheme around it, and they're going to try their best, and I don't know what they're going to come up with because that was a pretty ironclad decision. All right, got a couple more super chats I got to get to. Florida Sheepdog. Oh, I recognize that name. You're hearing it a lot. There are but two parties now, traitors and patriots, and I want hereafter to be ranked with the latter, and I trust the stronger party. Ulysses S. Grant. So, I hope that wasn't a reference to the CW2. I hope not, because I really don't want that to happen, but it's a very good quote, and that's a very good point. All right, Hondo 2042. In Delaware, we had several terrible bills passed. They are awaiting signature. Rumor has it Biden will be here for the signing. There's a rally on Saturday at noon at Legislative Hall. That's a good thing to know. There you go. Delaware is one of those places where they also overreacted. Ironically, everywhere that overreacted and jumped hard to one side directly had a correlation to being affected the most by this ruling. You didn't see Georgia, you didn't see Alabama, you didn't see Louisiana doing any of these things. It's only the ones that were guilty. It's kind of like the ones that were caught in the cookie jar, kind of just took all the cookies at one time. That's what you're seeing. All right, Tracy Summers. Again, guys, thank you so much for these super chats. These are incredible. You guys are awesome, and I'm trying to get to them as quickly as possible. Why do the Democrats and the government think they're entitled to gun protections, but average citizens are not? What gives them the audacity? The audacity is something, and this is my own personal opinion. You guys can sound off in the chat if you agree or disagree. My personal opinion on this is simply ego. That's it. I was elected, and it starts out with, I'm honored to be elected. I'm the people's representative. I cannot believe this. And it very quickly becomes, oh, well, you're the governor. Oh, well, you're the representative. Oh, well, I'm important. I help make decisions for my people. And very quickly over time, when you lose touch with people, that's when you start to get those types of things. And when you start to get those types of things, that's when you get, well, of course, I need to be protected. I'm the governor. I'm the elite. But the people who are everyday citizens, it's kind of like, well, they'll be fine. They have a police force. And that's, by the way, don't fund them. But they do have a police force, and that's kind of where they go. And that's just not cool. All right, another super chat. Thank you guys again, John Palmer. You already answered my super chat question. Sensitive areas, good work. Thanks for what you do. No problem. Hey, like I said, all the time, we are all in this together. You guys are doing amazing. All right, man, this is awesome. 1,600, 1,650. You guys are kicking it. All the likes, love it. You guys are incredible. And so now what I'm going to do is you guys did some amazing chats. We've got about 17 minutes until the 9 p.m. video drops. So what we'll do is I'll just leave it up to Q&A. Keep on doing this same kind of thing because this is some really good content. And you guys sometimes think of things that I don't even think about, and it's a really great thing working together. So throw those in there, and I will keep trucking away at them because this is amazing. KT, we are live. John Voris, yeah, there's going to be lawsuits out the wazoo. The Senate bill that just passed, I legitimately believe it will absolutely be sued to its non-existence, honestly. What happens with all the 2A cases on hold awaiting the Bruin? Well, basically the lawyers in those cases, they put forward all their information and they say, hey, there's a new Supreme Court case. I would like to add this to my case against this AWB or this MAGBAN or this roster or whatever it would be, and then that's how they would do it. That's an interesting question, DCAR. Will they go after suppressors? I don't believe so because they've already got them inside the NFA. So they're already a protected class. So I don't see why they would do that. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they'll stay in the NFA if a Republican Congress and Republican Senate comes out. And I mean, if you get the trifecta, I bet you the top priority for gun rights would either be removing suppressors from the NFA, doing constitutional carry nationwide, national reciprocity. I mean, something like that. It would be pretty gnarly. You should start doing these live chats at 8 on Fridays. They are awesome. I appreciate that, David. I'm trying my best because I'm still new at this. I'm still learning how to do the lives, but they're working. They're growing, which is awesome. And 8 p.m. seems to work a lot better than 9. That's pretty sweet. James Duncan actually just said something very strong. History, text, and tradition makes a very high bar for any gun control laws from here forward. James, you get a gold star. You just hit on something incredibly crucial. Every single AWB that's out there, every single mag ban, every single thing that infringes upon the Second Amendment rights that they are doing routinely in the Ninth and Second Circuits, they now have to interpret every single ruling they do with a different set standard. Prior to the Bruin decision, they could use a two-step standard. They could say, well, yeah, there's history and there's text, but here's the end means. Here's the benefit to what's happening at the end. Justice Breyer even said that in the dissenting opinion for the Supreme Court on the Bruin decision, where he basically said a whole bunch of facts that had nothing to do with anything, but they were emotional heartstrings. And that was the whole reason that he did it. And Alito comes in and just says, those are cute and great, but they make no sense. Laws, criminals don't follow laws. Why are we even talking about this? It was, if you want to read a funny thing, read Alito's his opinion around that, where he basically refuted his concurring opinion, where he refuted that. It was incredible. Gary Sharp, how about FRTs? I have not seen anything about FRTs yet. It is the Ninth Circus. You're right. All right. Sweet. And everything is good. Man, this is so much fun, you guys. I am. This is awesome. Luke B, that pesky old Second Amendment. It is pesky, isn't it? Yes. So CR Bill, that's a very good one. They are going to start doing that. They're going to start offering carry permit. They have to. Like, it's officially law of the land. Man, these super chats, you guys are incredible. What do you think about the other anti-gun states will do with this ruling? I think that you are going to see in unison a response. I don't believe that you're going to see independent solutions. Like, I don't think you're going to see New York and Illinois and California all do something different. I think you're going to see New York, Illinois, and California get on the same page, then spread it out to the other states like Colorado, and then they'll go forward in the same manner. Because that's what they've done so far. They will consistently use states like Colorado as a testing ground, California testing ground, New York, and spread it from there. That's what they do. They collect data in their blue cities and states and make that happen. And that's what I think they'll do. I don't think it'll be different. I think it'll be the exact same thing, and I think they're going to lose in the long run, honestly. Jason Oni, abolish the NFA and ATF. Okay, I support. Oh, we got another super chat I got to catch up with. Do you think that citizens being armed is also national security? Now, that's a very good question. There's a bunch of different levels on that. I think, of course, having a standing army that you can call up in the time of an invasion or war, in the case of a Ukraine, I think that's pretty handy. But that's a little bit different than concealed carry permits or just constitutional carry across the board. I think citizens being armed is one of the funding principles of our freedom, and that's one of the things that keeps us free. A lot of people will make fun of us and say, like, oh, you're going to stand in front of a tank, or you need an F-15, or you need nuclear weapons, as the president has said. That's not the case. That's not the point. The point is, we have these rights. You know we have these rights. We know we have these rights. So we're just going to know that it's in the right. We know we have the rights, so let's just not talk about it. So just mind your business. That's essentially what it means, in my opinion. Oh, man. One day we'll be able to call in. One day, that would be so cool if I had a radio show or something that you guys could call into. You guys could say you were here with the YouTubes on the live streams. That'd be amazing. It'd be so cool. Can the Supreme Court undo a bill? That's a very good question, Alexander. The Supreme Court, or any court, can rule portions or entire sections of a bill or entire bills as unconstitutional, which means they have to be rewritten. It's a little bit different than them just saying, no, it doesn't exist and you can't do this. Go back to the drawing board. They will say this does not pass constitutional muster, so therefore you have to go back and do this correctly. That's what they've done in the past. Yeah, Ohio is not a sanctuary state, just very too. Yeah, it is, which is awesome because you guys are now constitutional carry. And I believe DeWine just signed an order that said, or a law that said teachers can start carrying there if they want to. That's an interesting one. Yeah, behind every blade of grass. That's the whole point. That's why we're unique amongst the countries of the world, because we're a very free-loving people. Even though some of us don't love it, a big, big, big chunk of us do. And that is why we are still free. By the way, guys, just a gentle reminder, I've got 11 minutes till I bounce out, and I'm going to go watch the premiere with you guys, and I'll be in the chat, so make sure you've got that premiere set up so you guys can see it as well, because I cannot wait to show you guys that one. That one's going to be incredible. Again, same channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll blow your lung out, kid. It's totally true. That was the silliest thing I've ever heard. Oh man. All right, so I'm just catching up on all the chats over. You guys are awesome, and I love this. When are all you 2A celebrities going to toss a 2A first annual 2A meeting? We have those actually a couple of years. I wouldn't call myself a 2A celebrity. I would say I'm a 2A personality. I don't want to get like, politician status of having armed guards with me everywhere. But we actually, like SHOT Show and all the big shows that we have to go to, like the NRA show, those are typically, those turn into big YouTuber collections. It's really funny. All right, we got a super chat, and thank you again, guys, for your super chats. Matt, seeing as a lot of the current military members that joined post 9/11 are hitting 20 years, especially after the Afghan pullout and now civilians, this seems a bit orchestrated. I can't speak to that. I respect your opinion, but I can't really speak to it from a opinion space, just because I don't have a lot to go off of there. I see what you're saying, though. All right, great community here. Love you all. That's right. You guys are incredible. DeSantis Braden 2028. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that you put me in the VP spot. I'm not ready for prime time yet. Well, I mean, I don't know. Biden could do it. I guess I could do it. Oh, man. You guys are awesome. Good stuff. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for putting the videos and staying positive. Now, that's something incredibly important, Randy. And I recognize your name. You've been here for a while. Randy, we've got to stay positive. That's all we can do. We have to continue to stay positive, and we will make this happen. All the things that we're fighting on, all the energy, all the attention has never happened before. And this is something that is incredibly important. So we got this. We have to stay the course. We have to keep cool heads. We have to keep a cool demeanor. Keep it classy, and we will win, because there's an executive branch, a legislative, and a judicial, and they are all checking each other, and it's only a matter of time before we finally get the checks out of the way. And we can say to our children, that was fun, don't mess this up. Just like Ben Franklin did. JG, thank you again for the super chat, guys. How long until this ruling actually goes into law? The ruling would actually be effective immediately, I believe. They have to start changing their laws now. And thank you so much, Big Red. But that's my own personal thought. I don't 100%. I don't remember actually an effective date, but it's my understanding that SCOTUS rulings are effective, which would no, they are, because that's why Missouri today made abortion, basically they banned it in Missouri right after the trigger law kicked into effect. Thanks for all the information you're putting out. Hey, no, you guys, thank you. All right, we have a super chat. Let me see here. Skip Irving, pass an amendment that states citizens can't own atomic arms. As long as they include that, the government is prohibited from using them on American citizens. Okay. Beat them at their own game there. All right. I like that. You guys are geniuses. I love it. It's awesome. Steven, LOA Armed Scholar 2024. I don't even know how that would go. Me and Anthony, oh man. When me and Anthony hang out at SHOT Show or NRA Show, it is so funny because he's very quiet and reserved in real life. I'm a little more not, and he goes to bed really early, and I'm a little more not. So I see him like right in the middle during the daylight hours. It's really funny. One of these days I'll show you all that stuff. It's hilarious. Jared is also amazingly fun to hang out with from Guns and Gadgets. Sorry. All right, love and respect. I appreciate that, Big Red. All right, guys, make sure you are ready for that 9 p.m. segment that is coming up, because that 9 p.m. show is going to be, it's going to make you feel a certain kind of way. Some of you might need antacids. Some of you might need a drink. Some of you just going to get cranky, but we need to talk about it, because that 9 p.m. show, it's something that needs to be known, because I'm going to show you what the Republicans did over a 2-year span that got us to this point. It's not a good look. And it's not all Republicans. It's only those specific ones that are in that video, and oh man, you need that. You need to know all that. What did I do before I became a YouTube superstar? I was actually a retail manager. I worked in a retail store, which I can't tell you, but it was a big corporation. And I managed around 100 people. Scott McGuire, another super chat. You guys are awesome. Favorite Second Amendment news channel. Thanks for the info. Hey, I appreciate that, Scott. I appreciate that. You guys are incredible. Jared Braden 2028. Don't tell Jared, because he'll do it, and then I'll have to do it, and then we'll have to win, and it's a problem. Me and Jared we're cut from the same cloth. He's a little spicier than I am, but it's hilarious. Oh man. I certainly hope not, Wayne. I hope not. That is not okay. Donald, I hope we do good in November. I'm going to be honest. So before they started passing this Senate deal, this little sneaky Senate deal, we were guaranteed to do exceptionally well in November. Now that they've passed it, I don't know if it's going to help or hurt on a nationwide scale, right? Not our community. I know how our community feels about it. But when you look at it from a political voting base, are they picking up more people in the middle who wanted them to do something and enough to offset the loss and anger of the gun owners? Or are they picking up not enough in the middle and only losing gun owners? Is it a net loss or a net positive? I'm not going to know that until we actually get to the actual election, to be honest with you. Oh, man. I'm new to your channel. Thanks for all the knowledge you give me. Hey, Daniel, thank you. It is all right. You're absolutely correct. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up in a second. Actually, I'm going to tell you something funny, UNCBS. I actually met Matt in Vegas this year, and Matt is awesome. He's taller than I thought he was going to be, and I'm not going to lie, I had a little bit of a celebrity crush reaction. I'll tell you that at some time, but I absolutely did. Hilarious. All right. That's right, you do, Joshua. All right, guys, so jump over. Make sure you guys get out of here. I'm going to shut down this live stream. Go check out that 9 p.m. premiere that I've got set up. You guys need to see that video. If you see, actually, you know what? Let me drop that link. Let me see if I can do that. That'd be it. While I'm live streaming, man, I am fancy. Hold on a second. Because if I can make that happen, man, somebody stop me. I think I'm actually going to make it happen, guys. All right, let's get that. Oh, man. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. All right, guys, I'm going to put the link right over here. Man, that was during live stream. You guys saw it happen. All right, so there is the link. You guys can click it right over there. Make sure you check that video out. It's going to premiere in 3 minutes. It's right there. I'm going to put it in there again because I like you guys. Bam! And I will keep this going while you guys bounce over there, and I will see you over there. I'll keep the live stream open 2 more minutes to make sure you guys have this. But thank you so much for stopping by. And if you guys were giving or donating super chats, again, super thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boom! There's another link. I'm going to keep doing this. I will see you guys over there. So cool. This was great. I enjoyed this, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. See y'all over there. That's right. So cool. All right. I'm going to leave this up for a couple more minutes. 100 years in the making. That's right, baby. I am going to throw this up here so I can get in that premiere while you guys are bouncing. I could watch myself. That'd be kind of weird. All right, guys, I'm going to drop the link one more time. Boom! And I will see you guys over there. Thanks for stopping by.